selfies are a form of social commentary and not in any way meant to put down the ideas and ideals of any political or gender identity. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you.
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest. Have a look at, see that chap over there? Take your hand off my penis!
The Deputy Secretary, the Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary.
This guy is fucking stupid!
Stay chasing. Alright, and one more sound. Alright, how's it going, my beautiful chickadees, my adorable starflies, and all the wonderful nicknames in terms of endearment that I have for my beautiful fans. I won't call you fans, that's pretentious. Viewers. Alright, so where am I going with this? Well, obviously, it's another day, which means another horrible thing has been said, probably by that fat pumpkin bastard who thinks he's still president, which I really wish we could just tell him that he was, so that way maybe we can get some, like, semblance of normalcy, just a little bit, I'm not asking for much. I'm sorry, I'm trying to even these out. It ain't working. So... yeah, it's just funny. So, again, he says something fucking horrible. And what was it? He starts talking about poisoning the blood of America. All right? Now, I don't know if he's been getting into... I don't know if someone taught him how to read, or my guess is someone taught the son of a bitch how to read. And they started off with Mein Kampf. So, oh God. So what do we hear? We hear him say the immigrants are coming in with this. I'm not going to fucking show this because I really don't see any educational value to it or any kind of content value to it. And also I don't want to give him more fucking time than I have to. And the fact that he's already said this shit and everybody's already heard it, then we can just jump right on that. Excuse me. Now, to say that you are poisoning the blood of America is just literally a little, almost a verbatim quote from Adolf Hitler. Now, obviously, Adolf Hitler was not talking about America. He was talking about the purity of Germany. And which is funny because wasn't he like Bavarian? Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, now I want pie. Is that weird? All right. Well, Bavarian cream pie is good. So anyway, the son of a bitch is playing the Hitler book 101, and if he goes to jail, if he really does go to jail, and it's for like 4 years. We're straight up going to go right back. Maybe that's what he meant when he said World War II, and everyone thought that Trump was just stupid and misspoken. Maybe he did mean it like that. Like, well, we're Nazis, so it would be just World War II again. Because he was supposed to say World War III in his speech, and he said World War II. Maybe he really does want to bring back World War II. It sounds like it. He's playing the fucking game. He's quoting the movie. I like to think of our history as, a constant movie. Just life itself is a big ass movie. So it's like we've seen this before in another installment, a really old episode. And so, with this racist rhetoric, with this false bullshit confidence, my point yesterday was going to be that that sort of toxicity will seep into the mind of the average, the guy that's a layman, the guy that's not Donald Trump, doesn't have the money, the resources. Trump doesn't even have the money. He just has the resources. He knows the right people. And just like any other business, it's all built on who you know. Otherwise, we're stuck in the food industry and the service industry. Like, that's it. The only times I ever got a job outside of the food industry was because I knew somebody. And honestly, that's how it's always been. Ask any guy that's in music. Ask any guy that's in music, like a rock star. Even when I asked my favorite band, Cold, they told me the same thing. Like, hey, man, we've been playing for nobody for 10 years, and then we met the right guy, and here we are. So, again, it's always about who you know, not who you are. Now, I want to show you that this kind of attitude spreads. It really does spread. And it's because of disgusting losers like from Fox News. How about Greg Gutfeld? All right, Greg Gutless is probably a perfect example of ugly ass white privilege. Now, I'm going to show you a video where he is going to call himself the victim. Here's a man that makes about, I don't know, $175,000 a year, I'm guessing. If not, probably way more. So here's a guy that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and he is going to play a victim that his lineage is the very reason for the way he is treated, rather than the fact that you're an evil bastard and you even work for fucking Fox News. It don't get more evil than that, unless you go to Truth Social. So let's go ahead and look at this. Now, I want you to see how Greg Gutless just shows you just who he is right there, right then and there. He has no problem with showing you who exactly he is. There we go. Let me go ahead and just blow this up for you.
Of years of believing in a terrible ideology that lineage makes you evil. That lineage prevents groups of people from actually working towards peace. It's ironic that progressives don't believe in progress. They believe in the past. You see this language here. I'm not talking about just Israel. I'm talking about here, because that's here. It's now. We saw language early on. White privilege. That's a racist term that deemed you an oppressor based on lineage. The neo-Marxist push by the progressive left that shaped BLM, that we must punish the colonizers. Who are the colonizers? Riots, looting with white privilege. Hence the free punch, which again, riots, looting, murder, defunding the police. And if you dare question it, in those years after the George Floyd death.
Okay, I'm done. All right, if you guys managed to hear any of that besides all the stuttering and bullshit, this is what comes from talking so much shit that you're just burping out. I mean, you're literally farting out your mouth. I mean, that's just word vomit. He can't get a point across worth the fucking lifesaver. He is a absolute moron. Now, I'm going to show it again so we can try to get some context out of it. but really doesn't help when he's a goddamn moron. So, So we're going to show this again, but I'm going to go ahead and rewind it, and let's try to understand what the hell he just said again. Sorry, there was some buffering going on.
Of years of believing in a terrible ideology that lineage makes you evil. That lineage prevents groups of people from actually working towards peace. It's ironic that progressives don't believe in progress. They believe in the past. You see this language here. I'm not talking about just Israel. I'm talking about here because that's here. It's now. We saw language early on. White privilege. That's a racist term that deemed you an oppressor based on lineage. The neo-Marxist push by the progressive left that shaped BLM, that we must punish the colonizers. Who are the colonizers? Those are the people with white privilege. Hence the free punch, which again, riots, looting, murder, defunding the police. And if you...
All right, that's enough. All right, so first off, I didn't know we get a free punch. So, hey, Greg, if I ever see you on the street, thanks for giving me that free punch that I'm going to get on you. First off, he is reframing the actual term white privilege. Now, white privilege has never been a dog whistle or anything like that. White privilege is simple. You get privileges for being white, okay? You don't get pulled over for no fucking reason. You don't get fucked with by cops for no fucking reason. It's a privilege, all right? You're bringing up oppressors and oppression. Now you're stacking up that deck. So let's go ahead and stack up that deck and see if it makes any goddamn sense. So you're crying that you are such a victim, that you are stuck making $1 million a year kind of job. That's right, I threw you all the way up there. So you get a job where you make millions, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for opening your disgusting mouth and letting out all that disgusting hate. You have no concept of what progress even is. Now, and the fact of the white privilege thing was the fact that you couldn't name George Floyd. Why? Is it because he's black? And you're not really good with the whole black names, except for Kanye. So this is what I'm talking about. You're a fucking moron. You have no clue what you're talking about. And then you're going to cry and pretend to be a victim while you make $1 million a year. Do you notice that the black guy doesn't make $1 million a year? He'll lie. He'll say all the same bullshit you want him to. We got guys like Don Lemon. You put a fucking check in their hand and they'll say anything you want. All right? Like, listen to Dave Chappelle, yo. I made a commercial for Coke and Pepsi. Pepsi paid me more, so it just tastes better. All right? That's how it is. And Greg Gutless does not understand because he's never come from a world without privilege. So he thinks that when people call out his privileges, he's now a victim. No, motherfucker, you're a recipient. You are a beneficiary of that system. And nobody is saying that you're evil because you're related to anybody. We base how evil you are on how fucking stupid you act. Okay? And all that ever comes out your mouth is bullshit. And finally, one nice thing saying, I get a free punch on you, which is really cool because I have it on tape now. And he said, hence the free punch. So therefore, I get to nail him. And so I can't wait to visit New York. I'll be in your town. And, oh, man. I'm going to give you the fucking Chicago ass whooping you have been wanting your whole life, brother. All right? That type of attitude does not stop there. Now, that type of idiocy does not stop there. Now, let's move on from Greg Gutless to Vivek the Destroyer. I'm not Trump. I'm not good with all these nicknames. So you got Vivek, who is just literally saying that his qualifications of what makes him a good candidate is that he's younger than Trump. Wow, that is a lot of confidence on your part, brother. I'm just like Trump, except I'm young. And then he even says if you want to go with the tried and true, go with Trump. Dude, you are already labeling yourself as a fucking Coke Light, like a fucking Bush Light, a fucking Faygo without the fucking Y and without the O. It sounds like a knockoff brand. Like when you get Captain USA instead of Captain America, but you went to the goddamn dollar store and, you know, instead of a fucking American star on the shield, it's just a basic pentagram. Still cool. Actually better. That would be an improvement. But that's what Vivek is. He is back when, do y'all remember Coke 2? That's who he is. He's Coke 2, but with Trump. So Trump 2, but he's a little Indian dude who is literally saying my best qualifications is that my legs are new. I swear to God, he just talks about his young legs. I don't want to think about you wearing Daisy Dukes, bro. Stop talking about your motherfucking legs, dude. You sound weird as fuck. All right, so let's check out Vivek over here, and let's watch Cenk and Anna Kasparian beat his fucking ass because he deserves it. So I'm going to give you a few minutes of it. I don't know how much time I really can show you. So let's show you just basically enough that I can. And I want you to see how Cenk is trying to get him to tell him why should anyone vote for you. And Vivek is doing anything but getting anyone to vote for him. He's straight up saying, you know, he's a generic brand cola and that the shit in the 25-cent machine, vending machine, is just as good as the Coke machine that costs like $1.79 to get yourself a bottle. All right? This is what this conversation is in a nutshell. So let me get out of the way and then let's start it up.
Said that you're against secularism. So which religion should rule us all?
None. That is the answer.
Well, isn't that secularism?
That's not secularism. I think that capitalist secularism is something that has used a substitute religious-like worldview to foist that affirmatively onto multiple institutions across this country. I think that there are many forcible agendas. If you have to pledge allegiance to a diversity, equity, inclusion agenda as a function of getting a job, I think that is a Title VII violation, civil rights violation today. So I don't believe that there should be any religion, secular humanism or otherwise, foisted upon anyone, certainly not through the government. My view is you have free expression in the United States. I'm an ardent defender of religious liberty. Whatever your religion is, you have the right to practice it as long as you're not explicitly harming somebody else.
That's literally secularism, Vivek. That's literally the definition of secularism.
That's actually, well then, Cenk, what I would say is respectfully, whatever word you use to describe it. Now I've written a whole book about this, and so we can debate the vocabulary. But in concept, I believe that every religion should be practicable in the United States with religious liberty as long as you're not harming somebody else. And the government cannot establish any one religion as.
He ain't lying. That's the definition of secularism.
the governing religion for the United States of America.
Good news.
That's
in the U.S.
That's what the Constitution says.
That's exactly right.
I
That's
believe
in the
in
U.S.
this thing called the
Constitution. That is why the U.S. Constitution is considered the first secular constitution.
The word is secular.
Now we've all done a literacy.
It doesn't like words.
Well, look, I think that's in the First Amendment for a reason. Free speech, free expression, freedom of religious choice, and non-establishment. Yes, those are foundational to our constitutional republic. I do think that many of the philosophies that are foisted on kids, the hostility towards schools that may want to adopt certain religious worldviews as private schools, the hostility towards somebody who says if you don't approve of a certain kind of marriage, you still have to officiate that marriage using the state's force to do it. That's what I mean by cap.
Okay, he's just bouncing around, avoiding the question, just as any politician would. But again, with your young legs and your fast little legs, you're just talking faster than the normal old dude. But you're still not saying anything. He asked you about secularism, and then you are debating on the actual nomenclature. Your argument is on vocabulary and syntax, not the actual actions and definitions. Those don't matter. He just doesn't like certain words. Now, what the fuck is that? I will never understand. And so I'll let him finish.
Less secularism to say that you are forcing somebody to do something that violates their religion using the government's power to do it. That is what I reject. And so call that what you want. It's not the vocabulary that matters, it's the concept. I am against that. And you may disagree with me on that, but at least we can smoke out where our likely disagreement is rather than worrying.
Well, then why are you making a big deal about the verbiage? You see how everything they say is a direct contradiction of what they just said? And I don't call that double talk. I mean, it should just be considered what it is, canceling yourself out. Now, there is some really good stuff on TYT, and I probably will show it tomorrow. But he gets his ass handed to him by Anna by going on the show and literally trying to belittle her by asking her what her name is. You're the dude on the fucking show and you don't know the name of the very person whose show you're fucking on. I mean, it's not like in any situation like Anna is a new correspondent in any way, shape, or form. I think she's been on the show for, I want to say for as long as the show has been around. I want to say she's been there since the very, very, very beginning. And it's just not what happens. When you join an interview, usually you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about. So let's go ahead and actually watch that instead, because guess what? I found it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and watch this fucking moron get destroyed. And I really want to show you how Anna kicks his ass. So let's go ahead and take a view. So Vivek goes on the show and actually wants to go one-on-one with Cenk, but he did not factor in Anna.
Likely Republican voters decide to vote for you over the former president.
Yeah, look, I think that the more he's being unjustly prosecuted and really attacked using the levers of the justice system, the more I felt a sense of obligation to stand up for what is right. And I also believe in judging based on results. What are the results that I ultimately judge a president by? Did you keep us out of wars? And did the economy grow under your watch? There's a lot of other things that matter too, but those are two easy metrics. And I said he was the best president of the 21st century. That's what I said in the debate stage. I stand by it. George Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. It's not even close which one was the best one of the century. And so I respect him. and probably more than any other GOP presidential candidate, when I'm president, I will respect his legacy and honor it more than anybody else will, because I think it's the right thing to do, and I think it moves the country forward.
Yeah.
However, I have something that he does not. I am young. I have fresh legs. I think it's gonna take somebody coming in from the outside to have the true fresh perspective to lead the America First movement to the next level. I think I can unite this country by reaching the next generation of young Americans that have lost all semblance of national pride. And I can give you statistics to back that up. I mean, 60% of young Americans today say they would sooner give up.
Oh my God, he's making a reference to a stupid ass, before I even let him say it, he's making a reference to a dumbass survey that I think was done by mostly high school kids. And they were asked, would you give up your voting rights for, or would you give up your TikTok to keep your voting rights? And they said, no, I'd rather have my TikTok. And that's not an indictment on those kids. That's an indictment on your politics, going around asking the wrong fucking people. Those kids can't even vote even if they wanted to. Why don't you go ask real fucking people instead of asking a bunch of people that you know you're going to get a certain result from? And I'm sorry, there's a word for that. It's called fucking dry labbing, you fucking idiot. All right, let me get out of the way. But you know what? No, I'm not going to get out of the way. That's right, because we're going to go watch the good part. All right, I managed to find it while they were talking. And here we go. Let's just start it out about here. Now we're going to watch Anna rip some ass.
Donald Trump is charged with selling them? Are we allowed to try him then? Or do we just have to let him go no matter what he's charged with?
We're going to be on for most of an hour, so I think it's just important for you to understand something about me. I care about the details. Facts actually matter. I don't care about
the details
random
as well.
jousting.
And you just implemented a law having to do with political speech of a president and extended it to the actions of the president. If the actions of the president are criminal, he should be held to the same. Excuse me, I'm still speaking. Can you please let me finish my statement? Okay. If the actions of the president happen to be illegal actions, especially in the context of our democratic process, you genuinely believe that that individual should not be held accountable for what he engaged in. You think that any former sitting president of the United States can attempt to steal elections, can attempt to implement fake electors and go against the will of the American people. Is that what you're arguing here?
And I just want to address you correctly. What's your name?
I mean, you just came on my show. You don't know my name? My name's Anna.
And that's it. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. That is called a fucking burn. You got your ass handed to you. I'll give you 10 more seconds.
I don't actually. I thought I was talking to Jen. What's your name?
My name is Anna.
Anna, good. No, we're gonna be chatting for a while. I just wanted to address you conversationally.
Should have prepared for the interview ahead of time.
Bam! That's what I wanted. You should have prepared for the interview ahead of time. Now, another beautiful thing that was said at this juncture was he had said something about if you let me answer the question, or if you will answer my question. And Anna said, I'd prefer it if you answered one of ours, because they had asked him around 6 questions. He had not answered a single one. All right, and this is coming from the same side of the government, who their best candidate for Speaker of the House has never passed a single bill in 16 years. That is the fucking saddest people on earth. And it doesn't surprise me one bit that you got your ass handed to you, let alone, especially on TYT, who's gonna whoop your ass anyway. If you're going to be on the Young Turks, you need to have your facts ready to go. Because if Cenk doesn't pounce on you, Anna will pounce on you. If Anna's not there, David will. And it goes on, and there is a lot of great journalism on TYT. Sometimes I do think they downplay certain parts, and I will be the first one to tell them that. And I always write in the comments if I think they're going too lenient on somebody. But you have to remember Cenk was actually fired from MSNBC for being too fucking liberal. All right. So that shows you not just where we are in the state of liberalism, but in the state of liberty. Okay. And that in itself is poisoning the blood of the United States of America. All right. Love you guys. Be yourselves. Stay safe. Stay free. Stay away from pork. Stay away from rich white people. And I'll see you on the other side. Most of all, stay cheesy, my friends.
Please note these are a form of social commentary and not in any way meant to put down the ideas and ideals of any political or gender identity. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you.
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at, see that chap over there? Take your hand off my penis!
The Deputy Secretary, the Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary.
This guy is fucking stupid!
Stay cheesy.